So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome on stage a very special guest who's going to speak to us from the heart and about the heart, Dr. Aloma Lobo.
Thank you so much. When Ian first asked me to speak, I really wondered what I was going to say. And normally I'm not at a loss for words at home. But when I decided, and I thought about it, I said, I'm just going to speak at what comes to mind. And just thinking about that, I said, leadership in all spheres of life depends greatly on relationship. And relationship depends, in its turn, on your heart, on how much of heart you're willing to invest in that relationship. But what I really want to talk about is how a relationship with heart can build leaders among the most vulnerable amongst us. Those who've been lost, among the most vulnerable amongst us. Success, they say, is not just about how much money you earn, but how much of a difference you make amongst the people you work with. My own journey started 40 years ago. Yes, Roman, 40 years ago. Yeah. When we as a family made a decision to love. We made a decision to love. Now, loving someone so intimately, who is not of your own blood or of your own social sphere, needs a decision. It needs a decision to love. And believe you me, once you take this decision to love, the heart runs behind and follows with quick heartbeats. It really does happen. So all the children knew that someday a mommy and a daddy would come to take him home. Suddenly, like I said, I was standing there and I felt this little nudge against my leg. And I looked down and I saw these big brown eyes looking at me and this beautiful smile. And he said to me, oh yes, we called him Salman because he never liked to wear a shirt. And he nudged me and he said, Auntie, when will my mommy and daddy come? And I looked down at him and I thought to myself, little boy, your mommy and daddy are not going to come in a great big hurry. You see, little Salman had no arms and no legs. And that was the beginning of my second journey. Because I said to myself and to the people around me, these children are equally, if not more deserving of a family. They are the ones we have to go into areas where nobody else will go. We must place these children, give them the dignity and the love and the security that they so desperately need. Can we make leaders out of them? Can we make leaders out of them? This is a little girl called Melinda. Melinda also had no arms and no legs. Melinda was rejected by her parents when she was exactly 1 day old. She was given to an orphanage that said they couldn't deal with it. She was transferred to another orphanage and they said they couldn't deal with it either. So Melinda was given to a third orphanage and we found her a family. That I met Melinda in a chair. She was all strapped in and big eyes, and she said she was coming to India. She said, I want to tell every single child in India who is like me. I want to tell them that one day I was sitting at my bedroom window and I looked out and I saw everybody passing by on the street with 2 arms and 2 legs. And I said, oh my God, that's terribly boring. Look at me, I have no arms and no legs, I'm different. That makes me unique. Do I see opportunity in that? And she paints with the brush in her mouth. And she became an artist, a very well-known artist. With the money she earned from her art, and with the money, she brought her mother and her art teacher to India. And she addressed a whole lot of our children who were in orphanages. Today, Melinda teaches Indian cooking in the US. She also teaches art to children who are disabled or to children who are challenged. We have another young lady. This young lady was born with a very debilitating condition. She was born with a rare condition called ichthyosis, where her skin looks like that of a fish. She was also born with perfectly good eyes, but she had no eyelids. So in the course, before she came to her adoptive family, her eyes got ulcerated and she lost one eye and she lost most of the vision in her other eye. So in effect, she's almost completely blind. She has barely 15% vision in one eye, which is minus 11. Now this young lady started life with a disability, the disability of rejection, the disability that the people even in the orphanage did not want to take care of her because they said she looked like the devil. She had no eyelids, so her eyes were open 24/7. And then somewhere along the flight attendant comes up and he says, "Excuse me, the captain says we can upgrade you to business class." And her mother collects her bags and says, "Come on, let's go to business class." And she says, "Sit down, mother." And the flight attendant says, "No, you can go to business class." And she says, "Thank you, ma'am, but I will not be compensated for someone else's bad behavior." She was 12 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, please exercise your heart. Thank you.